Hey guys, welcome back. It's time to take a look at another perpetrator. And yes, we're back. Even yesterday we were in Florida. Today we're in Florida. We're in Miami. We have an attempted theft of $30,000 in Pokemon cards leads to an arrest at Miami game store. So the articles are a little bit all over the place. I'm glad that some video footage has shown up, and that's what we're going to take a look at first today. Let's get the video going, and then we'll discuss it a little bit. We'll go through the article, and we'll go through some important parts. So there's one little part here that really reminds me of something, and I do want to touch on that a little bit. Now, the 6 South Florida NBC Miami.com has this beauty little trigger warning. If you don't like when people pronounce the word Pokemon wrong, you are not going to like this.
Welcome back. A would-be thief targeted high-priced Pokemon cards in Miami-Dade. A business owner says the suspect walked into the store and ran off with those Pokemon cards worth about, listen to this, $40,000. However, as NBC6 reporter Christian Colon tells us, that suspect's plans came to a halt when he came across some martial arts students.
Okay. Does anyone immediately think of something when they hear this? We'll come right back to the video. But first, let's get here. The rob the wrong place here, where we have a guy in a motorcycle helmet that breaks into it's like a dojo or a martial arts teaching center of some kind. So he's got this guy hostage. He goes down the stairs and then he gets chased. I don't know if this is real or not, but this is immediately what I think of when you can't make this stuff up. Well, I mean, you could make it up, but it's more fun if it's not made up, right? Anyway, back to the video.
This is the moment martial arts coaches, an off-duty officer, and shopping plaza customers attacked the thief running away with pricey collectibles.
He just wanted this one, but the thing is they're tied together, so he ended up taking both of them.
And all this is valued at how much?
Together, like $30,000 to $40,000.
Machado says
I really want to. That is terrifying. As a game store, to have $30,000 to $40,000 in a binder kind of sitting on the top there. It sucks for the people that want to flip through cards and binders like that. But to have them on the table, whether they're zip tied there or not, he could have had, maybe, is that why he had the pliers? Was he going to cut the binders off? Probably. I don't think he actually did. It sounds like he pulled them with the thing, but having that much on the counter, that is some scary stuff, especially if you don't have some way to actually defend against somebody that comes in to try to rob the store, that kind of thing. It's scary. It sucks for all the people that are honest and just want to flip through a binder in a physical card store. But at the same time, you're going to have crappy people doing crappy things.
Police told her Jaciel Manfarrol claimed he was paid to take these binders filled with Pokemon classics.
Watching him.
So there was a lot of Pikachu VMAXs and stuff there. I want to know what cards are in the actual binder that he stole, because even if that has alt arts and stuff in it, to get to $30,000 to $40,000 US that's a lot of cards if it's modern.
He didn't walk away. When I told him drop the stuff, he looked back and was laughing, and it was just at that moment it felt so helpless, because it was oh, we're just watching $30,000 $40,000 of our hard work just walk off.
But in the parking lot, the suspect
Get him.
got a surprise tackle from bystanders like MMA coach Dominic Galeana.
Me and my friend jumped out of the car, cut him off, and then that's when we got on top of him, kind of used our jiu-jitsu to subdue him.
Manfarrol allegedly used pliers and threatened to stab, but he was pinned down until police arrested him. Machado got her cards back, a treasure she's worked hard to get.
These are just more expensive for collectible reasons. This is Venusaur. It's one of the first generation Pokemon. I remember that one. Yeah. So a lot of people want to have it.
Today on the news, game store owner employee talks to someone from the news who doesn't understand Pokemon or hasn't touched Pokemon since they were a child.
So it just varies. It could be that it's expensive because it's high in demand and a lot of people want to buy it competitively, or it's high in demand because people want it to collect it.
Manfarrol now facing aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and theft.
And luckily, the Pokemon cards are back to their safe place. As for the defendant, he has pleaded not guilty, and a judge ordered him to stay away from the business. In Southwest Miami-Dade, Christian Colon, NBC6 News.
Interesting. All right. We don't want up next. What is going on here? Cut that out. No. Cut it. All right. Now, man, these sites they're something special. You know what I'm saying. No, we do not want to play the video again. It's like the autoplay, the ads. My God, just give me the old-fashioned ads on the side of the screen, on the top of the screen, the banner ads. Give me the banner ads. Now, there's a few details in here that we're going to get to before we do. If you want to check out the video from yesterday, we have this bad boy here, which is a very, it's comical. It's good that people are getting caught and getting punished for stealing from others, especially small businesses, whether it's a card shop, whether this one was like a flea market kind of thing. Where it seemed like people could put their items in this, secondhand shop of sorts. There's no reason to steal from that stuff. It's just, you got to be the worst kind of human being to think that you deserve to take things from other people who are working for it, and you're not. You're just going to go in there and thieve it from them. Disgusting actions. We have the Rattle Pokemon link tree as always, and this video was brought to you by that. Code Rattle5 on trollandtoad.com is helping very much with the release day openings. Thanks to them. Thanks to you guys for using Rattle 5 to save 5%. Thanks for everyone in Europe who's going to Card Market. Thanks for everyone that's outside of Europe making friends. And if you do want to support Pro Play Games, if you want to give them some kind words, we got them on Instagram here, Pro Play Games, and we got proplaygames.com. It's pro-playgames.com if you want to check them out, if you want to give them some kind words. Thankfully, they didn't lose anything. Thankfully, no one was hurt. But if you do want to show them some love, show them some support, show them that you do want game stores to exist, and especially if you're in the area and if you make use of their facility, it would be a great way to do so. Now, back to the story at hand, because there's a couple details in here that were not mentioned. We have surveillance video shows a shop owner and 2 martial arts coaches jumping into action after police said a man tried to steal more than $30,000 worth of Pokemon cards from a game store in Southwest Miami-Dade. So it could be that like the multiple binders maybe add up to $30,000. Again, it would take quite a few. If there was alt arts and stuff in there, like it was a binder full of alt arts, because it seemed like everything there was mostly modern. Or maybe there was a vintage binder that we didn't get to see. It's hard to say. The reporters and whoever was running the camera there probably didn't know which binder they should be actually recording in order to get an accurate story. If there's ever a list that comes out, I would be very interested in seeing like what was in the binder. Clearly, it seemed like he had intentions to come in to do it. If he had pliers, he was probably going to cut the binder off of the tether. Police say that the suspect, identified as 33-year-old Hazael Manfaral, walked into the store and asked to see a binder filled with Pokemon cards. The store's owner said that once the binder of cards was placed on the counter, the suspect grabbed it and left the store. So that's the thing, dude. I don't know. You need like card stores are going to end up having to have like a system like a bank does, where they're like, you got to get buzzed in and you can't leave until they buzz you out, kind of thing. It's insane. It's insane to me. But again, where there's money, there's gonna be crimey wimies. They're gonna happen. The binder contained approximately 3,000 Pokemon cards, valued at more than $30,000. 3,000 Pokemon cards. What the hell kind of binder is that? Is that the Pat Flynn Mega Super Binder that he's made 7,000 videos about? Sorry, Pat. I feel like that's all I see. Maybe it's just because it stands out. It's a big binder. Watching him walk away when I told him I dropped the stuff, he looked back and was laughing. General Manager Ana Melina Machado said it was just like so she was the GM. It was just like at the moment it felt like so helpless, because it was like we are just watching $40,000 of our hard work just walk off. True, it's disgusting. Anyone that would do that to other people, my apologies, but if you have the ability to go in there, steal a binder, pretend to stab people, wrestle with people on the ground that thankfully apprehended you, it's always scary when people get involved. We saw with the shooting or the armed robbery with a gun recently, where like he had the gun cocked and pointed at the individual was in the game store. Like this, it's scary shit. Like, and that's the thing too. It's just like an employee shouldn't necessarily have to put their life on the line, because they're there. They're there to sell. They're there to sell cards. They're there to run events. They're there to do whatever they're there to do. And they shouldn't have to deal with fucking shitheads that are going to stab them with pliers or shoot them. It's ridiculous. When Manfaral exited the store, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe stores need to be allowed. Maybe they need to be allowed to defend themselves. Maybe they need to be armed. Maybe that's what it comes down to. or the punishments need to be more strict on people that are robbing these small businesses. Like, it's disgusting. I'm tired of looking at it. It's terrible. I hope every single one of these people get caught and every single one of them are punished for it. He was confronted by the owner and bystanders. Maybe they're going to need to do it like you go to prison and you have to work until you pay back whatever you stole. And maybe a nice vacation for the individuals that you came in and pointed a gun at or tried to stab with pliers. Is that fair? At some point, police say a man for all took out a pair of pliers and made several stabbing motions. Oh no, I should have had the who's the guy from Futurama, the really stabby robot guy. And one of the men who was trying to stop him. The suspect also stated, "I'm going to stab you," in Spanish, according to the arrest report. Well, it's a good thing he said it in Spanish. Man for all was able to get away from the group, but shortly after that, 2 coaches were training at a nearby martial arts center tackled the suspect. My friend jumped out of the car, cut him off, and that's when we got on top of him and used our jiu-jitsu to subdue him, Dominic Galliana said. I mean, if you have multiple people kind of wrestling you, he doesn't look like a big guy. You're probably not going to fare very well, jiu-jitsu or not. I think a couple people can probably hold someone down, give them a few little shots or something if they're fighting back. Surveillance video captured the chaotic moment. The suspected thief was pinned to the ground. Moments later, officers arrived and arrested Man for All. Man for All, who is homeless, was booked into jail on charges of grand theft and aggravated assault. So other articles kind of made it more prevalent or known, I guess, that it was like a homeless man. We have here the WSVN 7. So the first articles that came out, they didn't really have the video footage. It seems like some of the details weren't released at that point in time. So nice to see someone not successfully rip off a store like this. But like $30,000 to $40,000 is a big deal. Like if you're a small business, like it's not easy being a game store to begin with, but especially not at this point in time, in this day and age. There's so many game stores that are left over, like the ones that popped up during the pandemic when it was free tendy era. When if you got Pokemon product, you were just making bank. Well, if you were able to get the product, you were making bank, and for that reason, everyone wanted to open a game store. But right now, margins are slim. You gotta have a ton of capital. You have to be able to sit on this stuff, and they have to. I mean, they got to turn the lights on. They got people that are in there for events and everything else, it's good because you build up a client base, a community of whatever sorts that people are coming in, people are buying from you. There's extra value added in that. But it's tough. It's a tough thing, and it's tough without having to deal with this dickhead coming in there with pliers and trying to steal your shit. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thank you very much for being on the lookout. Unfortunately, we don't have any. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone to look for. Fortunately, we don't have anyone to look for. This one's already resolved. But I think it is important that we share the news here. If you have a game store, be very careful with your binders. Do not hand them over to homeless people with pliers. It is a bad idea. But also just be careful. Be kind of aware of what's going on. And I don't want anyone to get hurt trying to be a hero. But at the same time, I don't blame these people for trying to protect what they've worked very hard for. Join the Discord. See you next time. Bye.